If you're running Google local service ads for your cleaning business but not getting enough leads, then this video is for you. So in 2025, Google made a series of updates that actually can massively affect how often your ad gets shown. So in today's video, I want to take you through 5 proven tips to boost your Google LSA and to get your phone ringing again. So let's jump into it. So number 1 is optimizing and updating your profile. So within Google local service ads, you will see that there is an area within your profile where you can add descriptions, business hours, photos, all these types of things. And we need to make sure that the profile is optimized. Add lots of photos, make sure the business hours reflect the right times. And importantly, what we want to do is to be updating the profile regularly, because Google likes to see activities within their profiles, whether it's Google local service ads, whether it's their Google business profile. It shows Google that you are active, you are available to take calls, and ultimately will provide users of the LSA platform a good experience. So what we do with our clients is we make sure that the new photos are added to their profile every week. Importantly, we don't want to be using stock photos. Use non-stock photos, use photos of your cleaners at work, and just get into the process of updating the profile every week. And this will mean, and this will indicate to Google that you are active. So point 2 is then to optimize your service area. So as we know, your Google local service ads profile is linked to your Google business profile, which is attached to a specific property address. And what you tend to find is that you will get better visibility for your ads closer to the location of your property. But what is clear is that Google is increasingly focusing on the proximity between where people search and your property address. And what you often find is that if you set a really wide area, you would think actually the wider area that I set, the better, the more lead volume I'll get. But actually Google is prioritizing those companies with tighter service areas. So in actual fact, if you are running an LSA campaign and not actually getting enough leads, it's worth tweaking your service area, because you might find that if you actually tighten it up, counterintuitively, you might get more calls. Google, as we know, really likes people or companies that specialize in a certain service, but they also like specific companies that focus on particular locations as well. So if you have 2 companies, one that claim to cover lots of very wide area and a very hyper localized business, often Google will prefer that hyper localized business. So really think about your service area. If you're finding out that your leads have dried up, it's worth actually just tightening up your service area around your specific address. You might actually find that your lead volume pops up. So if you're finding the video helpful so far, please like and subscribe. It really helps me. Let's jump on to point 3. So point 3 is then your lead response rate. This is really important for an obvious reason. So if someone clicks a Google local service ads, they're looking for a maid service in Chicago, they click the ad and make a call, and the cleaning company doesn't pick up, that gives a really poor user experience to that potential user. Obviously, that user will may question whether to use or click on one of the LSA ads in the future. So Google really stamps down on this. And if you find that you are dropping any calls whatsoever, you will probably get a black mark from Google. So we need to make sure that all the inbound calls are being correctly picked up, make sure that none of them are being missed. Obviously on the other side, as well as inbound calls, we can opt to get message leads as well. So if someone sends us a message, the response time of those message leads is really important. So the quicker the better. You want to set your notifications, make sure you get the email notification, make sure you get the SMS notification, because we want to be getting back to new leads as quickly as possible. So not only does this give an indicator to Google that we are right on top of it and we want to give a good user experience, it also enhances the likelihood of you booking that lead to a booked client as well. So the response rate is really important. I tend to tell people, we want to make sure that we respond to all new message leads at least within the first 5 minutes. The longer that you leave it, you will find that the chance of you connecting with that client and actually booking that client is going to steeply decline. Because, as a user, as someone looking for a cleaning service, you'll probably send out a message, an inquiry, and you will continue to look for other cleaning companies, continue to contact other cleaning companies in that period that it takes for you to get back to that new lead. So the response time is really important. And linked to this is the opening hours, the business hours that we state in our local service ads profile. Because if we are saying that we are open up to 10 o'clock in the evenings, and people are calling us at 8 and 9 o'clock, and for whatever reason we're not picking up the calls, or for whatever reason the response rates are longer, then that is going to hurt our ad visibility. So make sure we restrict the hours of operation to those times where we know we can jump on the leads, we know we can pick up all the calls, we know we can get back to new leads quickly. That is extremely important. So point 4 is then to actively manage your leads. So, as we know, when all the new leads come in, there is a lead status we can categorize every new lead that comes in. So you've got your new leads, you've got your active leads that maybe, these are messages that you're going back and forth. Maybe those leads don't go anywhere and the client decides to go elsewhere. You can archive those leads. If you book those clients, then you can set those leads as booked. And as soon as that clean completes, then you can click complete. So many people, will not use this category system. And, again, if we are using Google's system, this is an indicator to them that we are actively using their platform. We're open for business. Please send us more leads. So it's really important, whether it's you as the business owner that are taking these leads or whether it's your virtual assistant, that they get into this process. It helps to categorize the ones that are outstanding versus the ones that have been booked or archived, but it also shows Google that we are in the market, and it will improve our ad visibility as well. So linked to point 4 is then point 5, and it's getting reviews regularly. So as soon as a clean completes, you need to mark that client as completed, that lead is completed within the LSA platform. You'll then get a reviews link, and you want to manually send that reviews link by email and text message to that client that booked and completed service. And the quicker you can do this, the better. Again, many people, because they're not using the categorization system, they're not creating the reviews, and in exactly the same way that your Google business profile needs lots of reviews for your maps visibility, your Google LSA profile also needs lots of reviews to improve your ad visibility as well. So we need to make sure that every single time a clean completes, we get that reviews link, we send it by text message and email to maximize the chances of opening it. And then Google will look at the total number of LSA reviews you have as well as the recency. So if you have two companies, each with 10 reviews each, but the first where the 10 reviews came 6 months ago, and then the second where the 10 reviews came in the last few weeks, obviously Google will prioritize that company with the more recent reviews. So make sure you are actively following up with booked and completed clients with these reviews links. So if you use all these 5 things, your ad visibility will improve, and ultimately your number of booked clients you will get will increase as well. So if you're finding with these changes that you still need more volume, you still want to grow more quickly, then that would be a time to use Google Ads as well, and run your Google Ads campaign alongside your Google LSA campaign, and you will get more leads, more booked clients, and more growth. So in this next video, I'm going to just give you a quick brief overview of what Google Ads is, how you can set up these campaigns, and ultimately start getting more leads coming in through the door. So I'll see you on the next one.